From where does my help come? My help comes from the Lord, who made heaven and earth. The Lord will keep you from all evil. He will keep your life. The sun shall not strike you by day, nor the moon by night. Help comes from the Lord, who made heaven and earth. My help comes from the Lord, who made heaven and earth. The Lord will keep your going out and your coming in from this time forth and forevermore. The Lord will keep you from all evil. He will keep your life. The sun shall not strike you by day, nor the moon by night. My help comes from the Lord, who made heaven and earth. My help comes from the Lord, who made heaven and earth. The Lord will keep you from all evil. He will keep your life. The sun shall not strike you by day, nor the moon by night. Help comes from the Lord, who made heaven and earth. My help comes from the Lord, who made heaven and earth. The Lord will keep you from all evil. He will keep your life. The sun shall not strike you by day, nor the moon by night.
Hey everybody, well, good day to you. Brad here, Big Family Homestead. Honestly and truthfully, I hope you're having an awesome and blessed day, wherever, whenever you're watching this chat. Got to tell you folks, you're going to see something pretty doggone amazing. Yes, if I had a bonnet on, there would be a bee inside of it, flying around, possibly stinging me. Why? Because I was recording some music today. I've been recording some scripture music that's, you know, you've got drums and bass and pianos and all that kind of stuff, but it's actually Bible scripture for the purpose of enjoyment and memorization. Well, so I took a break, got away from that just for a minute to clear my ears so I can make clear, judgment on what I need to boost and what I need to cut and all that kind of stuff. And so, lo and behold, I scooted over to that wonderland of wonderlands, the Big G search engine. And you know what? Today, they had the most amazing thing. Out of all the days today, the thing that we need to herald, the thing that is the most important out of all history, the thing they want you to know is this right here. Check it out. 3, 2, 1, blast off. Oh, yeah. Today is Filipino Adobo Day. You say, Brad, well, see, hold on. I need to pause right here, guys. Everybody who's here, Becky, D. Lewis, Crazy Prepper. Hey, Ryan, Joe, and Jerry, all y'all, please give me the thumbs up, because you know what that does? It sends out the notifications that YouTube, hey, they're live and all that. Plus, make a comment. Let everybody know who you are, where you're from, or jump into the conversation, because these comments are recorded and you can add to the conversation. You can add to the solution. That's honestly the big deal. Add to the solution. Make a comment. Jump in there. Okay, so here we are. Here we have. This is what's important. National Filipino Adobo Day. And I say no. Do not misunderstand me, people. Adobo is delicious. I have never had Filipino adobo, so I am not attacking adobo in any way. I salute you, adobo. However, I did a little quick search just to see what other history was kind of going on, on this day in history. And I found a few things that might seem a little interesting to you. So in 44 BC, on this day, Julius Caesar is stabbed to death by Brutus. Tu Brute? Oh, the Ides of March. That's pretty important. But definitely, we don't need to talk about that because it's Adobo Day. Also, Liu Biu, I can't pronounce the name properly, so I'm not even going to try. A Chinese warlord and a member of the Han royal house declares himself emperor. In China, that's a pretty big deal, the Han dynasty. I would say that's something we might want to know. Here's one that we're not allowed to say just because of, well, the melanin count in this guy's skin isn't well, it's Christopher Columbus. So in 1493, he returns to Spain after his first voyage to the New World. Now, you could say, well, he didn't discover it or whatever. Well, that's not the point. A lot of people in Europe thought he did, and you would think that was a pretty big deal. Like, hey, guys, look what I found. Check this out. I went on a boat ride, and I found this. Isn't that cool? Here's another one. Okay, this is nowhere near adobo. This day in history, okay? I would say that, 1965, Lyndon Johnson is asking Congress for legislation guaranteeing every American the right to vote. That means women, minorities, not as important as adobo to the G word, to the G machine. So what do you think, guys? Honestly. BP Devo, Judy Jackson, D. Lewis, Dean, Farm Chick, the camera was in the way, Ruth Gale. What do you think is more important than Filipino, adobo? Name your favorite thing. What do you guys think? Adobo or Finding the New World? Adobo or the Ides of March? I don't know. What do you think? Add your word to the conversation. You know what, Mountain Mama? You're right. Christopher Columbus was all that and a bag of chips, but you might be missing the point. Here's the problem. History is history. People do good things. People do bad things. Do we change history because we don't like it? Do we change history because, oh man, that guy's melanin count was the wrong one, so therefore erased? How about we do this? We let history be what it is and we don't lie about it. We don't change it. We We don't try to manipulate it because we really are just pushing to make our own agenda happen. Or how about this? Here's a great idea. You teach that bad things were bad, and you teach that good things were good. Like, how about this? Ending slavery, pretty good thing. Slavery was bad, but it didn't just happen here in the United States of America. No, did it? It happened all over. Happened all over in Africa, every country you can imagine. Happened Great Britain, all over. So why then is it the United States is the only country that seems to have a problem admitting it wasn't, wait a minute, hold on, wrong melanin count. Was it just, no, it was everybody, but no, we're bad. I'm confused because we kind of fought a really big war to end it. Well, let me bring your attention to this. Let me bring your attention to this. Here we go. Let's go to this one. This one's my faves. Do you guys remember that there was a president who was, right before he was campaigning and getting ready to be president, and he said something about fundamentally transforming the United States history. Here, let me go ahead and bring an article up in case you guys might be a little fuzzy on whether it happened or not, because it's kind of hard to find these things now, and I don't know why. I've heard a thing. Have you guys ever heard this? History is written by the victor. History is written by the winner. So they could kind of say whatever they want, right? Okay. It's probably not good to alter things. Go ahead and read that for yourself, but this is actually, October 2008. That person there. We are 5 days away from fundamentally transforming the USA. And then there was another person that pretty related, I would say. We are going to have, but I get some new glasses. That'd be good. We're going to have to change our conversation. We're going to have to change our traditions, our history. We're going to have to move into a different place as a nation. Well, now here's part of the problem, guys. I remember hearing that. Do you guys remember hearing that? I heard that so many times that we're going to have to fundamentally transform who we are as a people. Okay. Now, I like adobo. Adobo's great. Tastes wonderful. Never had Filipino adobo. The real question is, why would you want to transform history? Or wouldn't it be better just to point out the good stuff that happened and the bad stuff that happened, and with a steely-eyed gaze say, hey guys, this is not good. This was bad. We shouldn't do this. And you know what? Let's put in laws in place so that the bad stuff isn't bad. Well, or we can just smear and distract and take away from things that are actually important. And while adobo's great, probably not as important as learning why and how et tu brute is significant. I wonder. What's more important? How about this? I think civil rights are far more important. Well, there's a lot of significant things that happened that could have been highlighted. There was a bunch of stuff that happened, good and bad. Can we learn from it, or are we just absolutely going la 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 la? It's my side, and that's it. Or are we going to fundamentally transform who we are and forget what is truth? Oh, Brad. Pay no attention to the guy behind the camera. Adobo, adobo, adobo is best. You guys not? I want to catch some comments. So if you got a good comment you want to pop in there, please do. Because I want to talk about solutions too. I really do. I really want to talk about solutions. Because my family, a long time ago, made the decision to pull kids out of the public school and homeschool for a lot of reasons. And guys, if you're confused as to some of the reasons that might possibly be, you just got to look at the headlines. You know, we want to raise kids that have a chance and a choice to decide if they want to be morally this or morally that, but they're going to have the choice. They're going to know what we thought was morally good, sound, and holy. And then when they're adults, they can choose whatever it is they want between them and their creator. So, she's in her apron. Hello, Kimmy. Oh, you guys homeschool. I did not know that. That is something I did not know. Maybe I'm not paying close enough attention. We pulled our youngest out 2 years ago and haven't looked back. And by the way, if you're looking for an organizational coach, an organizational amazing chickadee, go to that channel. Yep, absolutely. Truth is not relative, people. It's not shades of gray. A thing is, or it simply is not. Why would anybody want to change it? Can't we just say that was good, that was bad? Unless you're trying to change what actually happened for a purpose. Unless, maybe you're manipulating things in a way to push certain people forward and certain people back. What do you think? What do you guys think? BP Devo says, rewriting history allows you to credit those who did nothing while discredit those who did. Heather says, to tell the underdog's history is important. It will allow us to learn from our policies. Or even call out good ones and call out bad ones. I think that's kind of an important thing. Let's see. Our first year homeschooling had 600 people attend the National Homeschool Convention. It's a little bit different. Brian says the best way to rewrite history is to destroy it so they can make it their own. However, they're only repeating history. Brian, I'm bringing it back up here, man. Let's read this together, bro. I'll just put this up there for your dining and dancing pleasure. That's right, Brian. I know you seem like a... No, I'm not going to go there. I was going to say like a Village People kind of guy, but it's total joke. You know, dining, dancing, forget it. Gunnar says, you have to know history so you know where you came from and learn from those mistakes. Otherwise, history will repeat itself. You know, I do think that history, for me in my mind, kind of more rhymes than repeats. You can kind of see these elements do keep happening. But it's not an exact copy. Let's talk for just a second about this. Why would somebody want to fundamentally transform? Wait a minute, hold on. Right about that time, don't you remember there was a really big push to change a bunch of teachers out and curriculum out? Do you remember that? Do you guys remember that around that time? I think I do. I also vaguely remember, you know, let's talk militarily for just a second. Don't you remember there were a lot of generals that kind of got fired for no apparent reason, and they were replaced with basically yes men and women, and then all of a sudden things started really crazily changing. Don't you think? Do you guys remember that? I remember that. Oh my gosh. That was the best. Gotta be. No. Ignorance is a plague that I fear humanity will never be free of. Jerry says, as a public educator with well over 30 years, thank you. I continuously watch curriculum be revised, and I'm going to throw up the air quotes for Jerry, revised, to what we revised to what we were allowed to teach. It was awful. Thank you, Jerry. WI Farm Chicks says, the fundamental future would mean you have to see where you came from, and they're changing the path forward. Okay. Now, if you guys don't know, Shri hangs out here once in a while. Awesome young lady. Here in the UK, the school system is turning children into robots, and they single out people who put down others. It's awful. Well, ladies and gentlemen, here is where we have come to, okay? We set the stage, all of that to say, all right, what are we going to do about it? Because I don't like bringing up, the obvious problems that everybody can kind of see. A lot of us don't want to believe it. A lot of us just say, I'd rather be the ostrich with my head in the sand. Because what am I going to do about it? What can I possibly do about it? Well, here's what you can do about it. Every single person here, whether it's Brian, Space Prepper, Robert Bates, Donna, Crazy Prepper Linda, we all can see what is being changed, what is being rewritten. We can see it. What is not important is being heralded as important, and what is actual history is not even being taught. So what can we do? Well, first things first, don't be afraid to call out baloney. You can do it kindly. You can totally do it kindly. But if you know that, wait a minute, that's not true. That's not how that happened at all. Well, here's what happened. Call it out kindly. Don't let history be revised and erased right in front of your face. I once went to, please help me. Guys, I was in a rock band for a long time, so forgive me for my lack of memory. But that school where the civil rights movement really came to a head, and that young African-American woman was the courts were allowing her to go to school in high school. And it was that school. What's the name of that school that they were allowing her to go to, a air quotes white school? Do you guys remember that? Anybody got that? Because I went there, and I went to the museum, and I sat and I watched the video that they had, and I was just asking. I believe it was in Mississippi, and there were riots. It was bad. It was stupid. It was dumb people doing dumb things. And you know what? That woman had every right to go to that school. Absolutely. Content of your character, that's where I'm at. Not your melanin count. But I went to that video and then walked around and talked to them and the civil rights people. And what was amazing to me, and I promise you, this is not a stab. This is not a stab if you're an R or a D or a L. It does not matter. Does not matter. Okay? This is just a point that people have no idea what is truth and falsehood. So I talked to, I think it was Montgomery. I think you're right, Michigan Daffodil. So the lady who was a tour guide was a 20-ish African-American, and I just was asking her about the politicians that were the ones that were voting to not allow that young lady to go to that school. And most of them were of the D flavor, not the R flavor. She didn't know that. She didn't know that. And I just, because this woman was espousing clearly a very R flavor ideas. And she was very not afraid to say who she thought was, not good politically and who was. But then I asked her, I said, I'm not trying to be rude or anything. And I didn't do it publicly. I did not do it publicly. I said, I'm not trying to be rude, but do you know who voted to keep her out of that school? Because most of them had a D in front of their name. She refused to believe me. You don't want to know why? Because somebody told her something different and she believed it. And she didn't check it. Yeah, it was an elementary age girl, I believe. Yeah. But that's what shook me, was that even when confronted with the truth, she refused to believe it. And again, this has nothing to do with the R or the D or the L, because frankly, most of them are working together. There are some that are good on either side, but I would say most are working together. So what do we got to do? Don't be afraid to call flag on the play when there's a flag on the play. Holding. That was a red card, man. Red card. I saw it happen. Man, dude, he slid in, studs out, went over the top of the ball, nailed that guy in the leg. Red card. You're gone. Call a spade a spade. Don't be afraid to call a spade a spade. Southampton, come on. They didn't deserve to get that. Studs in the leg? No. Don't be afraid to call it out. And please be courageous enough to teach the people that are around you the truth. Trust but verify. Thank you, Gunner. Trust but verify. Now, and if you guys don't know, I'm a believer, love Jesus, do a Bible Devo. The music you heard coming in, that was me. Yada, yada, yippee, skippy. That's not the point. When I try to talk with people about the Bible, you have to be very, very careful that you're not just listening to something some pastor told you and you don't check it out in the Word for yourself. If you don't check it out, what if that woman or man got it wrong? What if they weren't trying to be malicious, but they got it wrong? And now this person's going to go through their life believing some goofy doctrine or something that's simply not true because they didn't check it out. Trust but verify. And don't be afraid to speak the truth in love, guys. That's it. Shri, she lives in the UK, and I have been a Manchester United fan for a long time. I even have a signed Wayne Rooney jersey. Well, I did. I gave it to my son because I'm bigger now. He can still fit in it. I can't. But yeah, it was a gift. What a cool gift. And now he gets to continue using it. But yeah. So Crazy Prepper Linda says, I call that the Marshmallow Effect. I'm interested to read this. As a young child, I was told marshmallows you roast over fire grew on trees by my uncles. You just believed it, huh? I believed that into my adulthood because why would he lie? He was probably obviously just teasing. But if you don't check it, you'll never know. Now, am I an advocate for homeschooling? Darn Skippy. My family will not have two incomes like a lot of families do because we've made a choice. My wife and I have decided that what goes in our kids' heads is far more valuable than extra vacations or a boat or a car or a slightly better house. What's more important to you? What's more important? Farrah Fudge says, I can attest to that one. I used to believe everything and I didn't think I could question our pastor. Yeah. When I was little, I used to think that when you got new shoes, you could run faster and jump higher. And maybe that's a little psychosomatic because you got new shoes, so you want to run Maybe you are running faster. Maybe you are jumping a little bit higher. But the point is, and I am going to reiterate what Gunnar is saying because I agree with it. Trust but verify. Trust but verify. Folks, is Filipino adobo, which is probably delicious because the Spanish and Latin versions, amazing. I can only imagine it's amazing. But is that more important than knowing basic history? Because it's like that all the time. If you look at those doodle Grammy thingies or whatever they call them, it's always something that, heralds, sometimes they're really great things. But then it's like, what is this? Are you just pushing an agenda or are you trying not to tell the truth? It's up for you to decide. Ladies and gentlemen, got a free gift for you. If you want some music for free that's scripture music, go to bigfamilyhomestead.com/shop. Links in the description below. It's free. You put it in the shopping cart, no strings attached, and getting ready to play for you one of the tunes. It's music that I wrote, sung, and yada, yada, yippee, skippy. Hope you like it. Hope it's a blessing. And actually going to go back to recording another one right now. Started working on Romans 6. And if I'm lucky, might get it done today. Thank you in advance for your prayers. And honestly and truthfully, hope you guys have a blessed day.
Trust in the Lord are like Mount Zion, which cannot be moved, but abides forever. For the scepter of wickedness shall not rest on the land allotted to the righteous, lest the righteous stretch out their hands to do wrong. As the mountains surround Jerusalem, so the Lord surrounds his people from this time forth and forevermore. Do good, O Lord, to those who are good, and to those who are upright in their hearts. But those who turn aside to their crooked ways, the Lord will lead away with evildoers. Peace be upon Israel. For the scepter of wickedness shall not rest on the land allotted to the righteous, lest the righteous stretch out their hands to do wrong. As the mountains surround Jerusalem, so the Lord surrounds his people from this time forth and forevermore. the mountains surround Jerusalem. So the Lord surrounds his people